Hello again and welcome to machine learning lesson. So today we are going to be looking at data types in machine learning. Yesterday we did look at the types of machine learning, and on Tuesday we looked at the base definition of machine learning. So why do we really have to bother about data types in machine learning? First thing, I did mention about bias yesterday. You know, bias has to deal with a good example of bias is the kind of data you use to train your machine learning model. If you do not pre-process the data very well or treat the data the way it is, that model is going to be very, very biased. That is why it's very essential for us to look at these different data types, because most machine learning models treat those data types differently. Also, secondly, we have to note that a wrong data type assumption can always lead to what? Poor model performance. Whether you are going to use pre-processing or not, we need to know the different data types, because pre-processing that data will also depend on the type of data in machine learning. Also, whether we are going to do feature engineering, whether we are going to do encoding, we also need to know that data type. Because you see, most machines, they take in what you give them. So if we do not treat that data, various data types pretty well, then what the machine takes in as garbage, it will also give you what? Garbage out. So there are two major types of data types in machine learning. The first one is numerical, and then another one is what? Categorical. Each data type also has subtypes, and these subtypes affect modeling and what? Pre-processing, as I did mention earlier. So the first data type we'll be looking at today is what? Numerical. Just from the name. When I was treating the basis of Python, I did mention the data types in Python, where we looked at float, we looked at integers. Those are numerical data types, which they represent measurable quantities. You can perform different mathematical operations on them, like addition, subtraction. We can do descriptive statistics like mean, median, variance, and so on. Good examples of numerical data could be the age of someone, could be the salary of someone. It could also be the temperature of a place, or maybe the temperature of someone. The different types of numerical data, we have two types. We have discrete. The discrete numerical data types are things that we can count, like maybe the number of children in a family, or maybe the number of cars that arrive at a checkpoint each day. That is a good example of what? Discrete numerical data types. Another common numerical data type is what? Continuous. These are things that we can measure them, like the height of someone, the temperature of somebody, and so on. The second data type in machine learning is what? Categorical. This represent what? Groups or what? Levels. As I did mention in the previous lesson yesterday, looking at whether an email is spam or non-spam, was a good example of what? A categorical data type. As we move on, we are going to see how we can encode this before we can use them to train machine learning models. So one thing you have to note here with categorical data is that categorical data cannot be used with what? Directly with what? Mathematical operations. Good examples of categorical data we have what? Gender, which could be male or female. Color, it could be red, green, and any color. It could also be country. So for the different types of categorical data, the first type is what? Nominal. Nominal here simply means it doesn't have any natural order. Like the example could be what? Color. It could be the city. It could also be what? Language. With the ordinal categorical data type, this has a meaningful order, meaning that it has an order in which an order before you can look at it. Like let's say it could be low, medium, high. We can also look at it in terms of what? Educational level, like high school, college, and what? And someone with a master's or someone with what? A PhD. Thank you guys. That was it for today. Tomorrow we are going to be looking at descriptive statistics, where we are going to see how to perform, mean, median on what? The numerical data types. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.